Now that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Now that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Where you from? You said it's so light, but I heard philosophy into the room that night. Now that's a good question, but define it precisely, because I can answer it instantly. I just don't trust simplicity. Now that's a good question. Don't rush me politely. I can sing a city, I can sing a place, put a label on it, close the case, but that would be compression of existence, and I'm not built for convenient resistance, because from is not a stable location, it's a temporary cognitive negotiation. You think it's geography basic info file, I see identity collapsing in style. You want coordinates neat and clean, I see overlapping unseen machine, cause even born is a loaded phrase like reality paused in bureaucratic haze, and I don't trust pauses that pretend to be starred. They usually just hide how little we charge. Now that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Where you from? Casual execution, but I heard layers of retribution. Now that's a good question. I need definition, because answering wrong creates distortion in your mental storage partition. Now that's a good question. I'm in deep consultation. Big Bang gets mentioned like a simple history, like the universe on a clean delivery, but that's just when silence became too loud. Not origin, just volume allowed. Not creation, more like system boot scream. Reality loading is first unstable dream. Dinosaurs, temporary competence phase. Land-based ambition in prehistoric days. They didn't fall, they just lost agreement on permanence as a valid achievement. And humans now asking where you from, while standing on unfinished outcome. Like the question is small and polite, but it opens the structure of night. Now that's a good question. Why is that a good question? It activates systems I didn't request in the architecture of context. Now that's a good question, but I object to compression, because every simple answer creates professional regression. Oh, now that's a good question, still under inspection. If I say Tokyo, that's fine, but which version of me aligns that line? Is it memory, body, design, designation, or just socially accepted abbreviation? Because I feel multiple origins debating like committees inside one statement negotiating. One says earth, one says void impression, one says don't simplify this confession. So I answer indirectly instead, because directness feels underfed. Not wrong, just too fragile to use, like truth that would distantly confuse. You want it from, I gave you a case. Now we're studying the structure of place. Now that's a good question, the question of questions. Where you from? And I'm still adjusting definitions. Now that's a good question, causing system collisions between identity, language, and basic conditions. Now that's a good question. I'm avoiding submission. Anyway, where I'm from, I can answer that normally, but then we wouldn't be having this conversation anymore.